Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. Today I'm here to do a review on the Mangle Fix. This is a 3-blade fixed blade broadhead from Mangle. The really good high quality broadhead, really well made, and does a fantastic job. Now you'll notice the one on the right is a little dirty, and we'll get into the story on that one after we run through the specs. This is a 100 grain broadhead. A 3-pack of these is going to cost you $29.99. Normally I don't mention price, but because these are really affordable for broadheads, I thought I'd throw that in there. Again, 100 grains, 1 1/8 cutting diameter, and these have .029 thick surgical grade 420 stainless steel blades on them. These are very, very sharp blades right out of the box. The other thing that I like about them is the way that the blades are held in with that set screw. These blades do not move around at all. The design of this with that kind of chisel tip, it's kind of got that rocket shape to it, you know, is very aerodynamic. These things fly really, really good. I had zero problems tuning these things. Put them in my bow, which was broadhead tuned to a expandable. Actually, it's broadhead tuned to the fixed blade, or to the practice head on a Havoc, and that's all the broadhead tuning I've done to it. And these flew great. Had zero problems with the way these things flew. The ferrule on these is 7075 T6 aircraft grade aluminum. This is way better than most of the aluminums out there. They're very, very tough. This one here has been through a deer and shot into the ground behind it, and absolutely perfect. I'm gonna need sharpened up and cleaned up, but it's still pretty sharp actually. So really tough broadhead, tough ferrule, tough blades, especially with that thickness. The stainless steel blades on these too, they're going to create a really nice wound channel. You know, in the days of expandables doing 2-inch cutting diameter and things like that, I think we lose sight of how much damage a 3-blade cut on contact, or a 3-blade broadhead like this can do when you hear only an 1 1/8 cutting diameter. But 1 1/8 here, 1 1/8 here, it's a big wide cutting surface. So I'm going to show you the blood trail that I got with this arrow here. I shot a doe last week, and I got a great blood trail on that doe, and I'm going to explain to you why I didn't get to harvest that doe in a minute. It had nothing to do with the performance of the broadhead. The ground's a little wet from the rain, but you can see there's the blood trail. She's had over an hour, so she should be somewhere up here, but judging by this blood, got some really good blood here. Really good blood right there on that grass. You can see where she went through the grass here. She's gotten into this tall grass, and it makes it a little harder to trail her. Right there's some blood on some leaves. Neighbor's fence is coming up here pretty quick. Okay, so you can see there the blood trail on this broadhead was amazing. I shot that deer at 20 yards, 18, 20 yards, something like that. And I did shoot her a little forward. I shot her right here behind the arm, behind the shoulder, which is where I was aiming, but I should have put the arrow back here a little bit more. So I shot her right here behind the arm, and the arrow actually came out in front of this shoulder at the base of her neck on this side rather than coming out behind. I should have shot her in the last rib back here, but honestly, till I watched the video, I didn't realize she was turned that hard away from me. So the arrow went through and it got both lungs, and she ran about 60 yards and piled up and was dead. And I didn't realize she crossed the neighbor's fence. So I sat there for about an hour because the rut was really going strong, or really pre-rut's really getting to going. And I sat there for about an hour and I waited, and finally I got down and found the blood trail, found my arrow, and you can see the broadhead is in fantastic shape. It looks like it's brand new. I cleaned a little bit of blood off of it and stuff like that, but still got to get in there and clean some of the dirt off of it. But the broadhead had went through her, had hit the ground behind her, stuck in the ground, and I picked it up, cleaned the blood off of it, and it's good to go. So I really like that toughness aspect of it. But back to the doe. The doe actually ran to the neighbor's fence and crossed the fence. Now, when I got to the fence, I couldn't see her, but in Missouri, if a deer goes onto the neighbor's property, you have to have permission to go on there and get it. Your tag does not allow you to retrieve game on someone else's property, and it's actually a fine. It's just a misdemeanor, I believe, but it's a fine. So I got in contact with the landowner, and he said, absolutely not. You cannot go on there. Under no circumstances can you go on there. The story's a little bit more than that, but he would not allow me to go on there and get the deer. So I went back, got my gear together, and heard a truck coming through the field. Walked back to the fence, and when I got back to the fence, the neighbor was actually loading up the deer and leaving with it. So that's the reason I can't show you the entry and the exit wound on this, but it left a awesome blood trail. The deer where he picked her up was actually about 20 yards over the fence. She went about 60-70 yards total, and that was my fault because I put it forward. If I would have put it back here, she would have been dead in a heartbeat. The blood trail, you saw all the blood trail on there. That blood trail was just pouring. I mean, and just gaping. And when he picked her up and loaded her in the back of the truck, she had blood just all over her side. So it did an awesome job of killing the deer and did an awesome job of creating a fantastic wound channel. It's just my fault for not putting her down quicker, and the neighbor's fault for not allowing me to go on there that I couldn't harvest that deer. So the head flies great. It does all the things you ask for out of a broadhead. It flies fantastic. This thing flies like a dart and was super easy to tune. I had my bow tuned to a mechanical and to a mechanical practice head. Picked this thing up and it flew right there with all my other arrows. So flies great, tough as nails. I mean, that thing is super tough. It looks like brand new. Just needs to be sharpened up, and it's good to go. So you can't ask for more than that out of a broadhead like this. I love the way it's put together, I love the way it's designed, and it did a fantastic job on that deer. If I would have followed through, she'd been in my freezer rather than his. So this is the Mangle Fixed. I am very impressed with it. Really like this. These two are going to hang out in my quiver for a while now. And there's also the Mangle EXP, which is their expandable, which I love. I love that broadhead. It did a fantastic job on the deer I shot with it a few weeks ago. So check these both out at Mangle's website, which we'll put below. And if you buy these, which said the price is affordable, so look, got a little blood on my fingers there. But if you pick these up, you also get a free hat, which Mangle's hat is really cool. I really like their free hats. So check that out, their website. Speaking of hats, if you're looking for a hat like this, you can get one at Full Drawn Addiction, who our partner. Will put them in the link below as well. And please be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. And if you want to, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook under Ike's Outdoors. Appreciate you guys watching.